Hello and welcome to Sonic Sorcery. I'm Steffen Ki, your Sonic Sorcerer, and in this video I would like to show you how I created the demo track for the recent released 432 Hz Shamanic Portals template by Fluorescent and myself. So in the last video I was introducing the template to you. Like, if you watched this video already, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, I suggest you check that out first. I will link it here, so it will show up here somewhere on the top right screen. But yeah, basically what we have here is the template, and I created a demo sound. And the first thing that you might notice if you look at it is, like, I have multiple instances of the same channel. I duplicated them, and I will explain why I did that in a second. So just that you're not confused. Usually there's just 8 of those groups, right? Now we have a little bit more, or 8 of the channels. Now we have like 18. But this has to do with mixing purposes also, because I wanted to blend in soundscapes into each other, right? So so basically what I did was I was listening to the sounds in session view, like I always do. I'm always jamming first, and then if I have something that works well together, then I start arranging. So let me give you an example. For now, we are not listening to the demo, so I can just highlight all of this, and if I press the up arrow, it will just jump to the right, and this will make sure that we are in a playback space when I enable the loop here, where nothing else is playing, right? Because now I just want to demonstrate to you how I would work, right? So as you know, like, each realm has its own kind of vibe and magic, and some are more ethereal, some are more earthy. Let's say today I feel more like Mayan, shamanic, rootsy, fiery kind of vibe. Then I would go for Vakinia, right? So and I would start with the low drone first. So this would give me an idea, and as you can see, we have it 3 times here now. So let's see how the sun portal feels with that. Very nice. And then let's say I also know that Teolia has a very similar vibe, right? So maybe I want to bring in something from Teolia, and that's the beauty of the portals. You can really mesh and combine and really fuse and alchemize all those different worlds, and this is why it's called the portals, because we're going through portals and we're channeling different energies from different places into one experience. So let's see. So we have a low drone and we have a mid drone, right? So what's missing is a high drone. So let's check out the synod portals, how that vibes. Oh, and that needs to go down quite a bit. That's the thing with the high drone sometimes. Okay, I'm not feeling this so much. Maybe let's try this one. Yeah, nice. They layer really well together. I feel this. Right? And let's see. Maybe we take, for the flora and fauna, maybe we take the Giving Waters from Wakinia. I love water in general and sound journeys. It's so good. Oh, beautiful. I'm in love already. It's so soothing. Awesome. Yeah, we could just start with that, you know? We could just start with that. So I could stop this right here, right? And you see they're all like still selected for playback. And the easiest thing I could do is I could now switch to arrangement view, press the tab key or just click here, and you see I could just press record here, and what happens is it will record all the clips that we selected into the arrangement here, right? So you can see we have the low drone from Wakinia, we have the mid drone also from Wakinia, and we have a mid drone from Teolia, and then we have the water coming, right? So And then we can keep this going for a bit, but we could also just stop it now, because we could just grab it here at the end, see where the brackets are, and hold the left mouse, and we can extend it because it's set to loop. Like we can loop it however long we want. And then you see they are grayed out, right? Because they are still played in session view, and Ableton will always prioritize what's going on in session view. So what we need to do is we need to hit this button here, which means back to arrangement, and then we get access to those guys, and then we can actually start playing around. So let's say we want to start with the waters first and the low drone, right? And then slowly we can bring in other things. So I'm going to move that around a little bit. Let's set this grid, right click to 8 bars, so I get an idea. Maybe 4 bars. All right. So, you know, I set the fades at the beginning, you know, like to have some sort of slight, gentle introduction. Let's see how that sounds. Right, the water is coming in slowly, the drone is coming in slowly. I feel the sun, oh, sorry, because everything was highlighted. It was moving everything. With Command Z, I can just undo it. I will bring this over here, I feel. Maybe here already. And then I bring this over to here. Right, and then we get this. And maybe here, bring in the other one. Beautiful. Right? And so you can imagine, just intuitively, I would keep going, and then I would select other sounds that fit well with the vibe, or I would consciously switch up the vibe, right? The thing for the demo song is, which we're gonna have a look at in a second, I wanted to have a little bit of variety in terms of showing the different flavors and the different moods and things like that. So I was kind of blending very creatively. But you can also be more consistent. It really depends on, you know, what you feel and what you want to express. So the last thing that I want to show you here is what I would do now also, like at some point would be playing with the effect sounds, right? Because this makes it more interesting. So let's just loop this maybe for 36 bars here for now. And let's see what we have with the effect sounds. So I like to have like introduction sounds and transition sounds, right? And since this is more shamanic in nature, I would go to the shamanic sound effect rig here and just see which could be a good intro sound. Right, the drum atmo could be nice. Rain stick could also always be nice. Let's see the long dark rain stick. Yeah, maybe both of them together in some way. I turn this down a little bit. So let's see. We go down now to where the shamanic effect rack is here, right? The shamanic sound effects here. And what we can do is we can just zoom in a little bit, right? With the magnifying glass going above here, holding the left mouse, zooming, going down, like moving the mouse or the trackpad down, will zoom in. And I just highlight this little area here. Right now it's highlighted with the left mouse, and right click, and I insert an empty MIDI clip. And then I select the drum atmo. Maybe I change the grid to 1 bar. Right, and I draw in the drum atmo. And then when it starts, we will actually start with that sound. Right, and that's a nice intro, I find. And then let's add the rain stick maybe here, right? And if you feel it, you could also set a singing bowl from the sound healing rack, right? So we could also set like Tibetan bowl soft. So let's just see how that feels. I just put one in here. So we have the, oh, this needs to go down also quite a bit, the volume here. Now this was overlapping with when this came in, so that you don't want that. So basically I would change the grid here to 1 bar, and I would move it slightly ahead, maybe around here, so that they're not overlapping, the flute and the singing bowl. Right? And so on. So so this gives you an idea about the workflow. First, jamming in session view, and then finding sounds that you like, and then either recording them or copy and pasting them directly into the arrangement, however you feel, and then making small adjustments, or let's say making it more interesting with effect sounds and creating like transitions and creating ear candy, and yeah, just supporting the vibe with those sounds to make it a little bit more immersive. So that's the whole idea. So now let's get rid of this and let's actually check out the demo song that I made, pretty much based on the same principle, right? So let's have a listen and let's have a look what's happening here. So maybe we go step by step, right? So you can see there's already a lot going on in a sense. So we have the flora and fauna. Again, also I just wanted to put as many sounds as possible into it without it being like super overwhelming. And so this is the introduction, right? And this is already like pretty immersive, and yeah, already has a lot of information and instantly puts me into this, yeah, magical forest of Arborea. So let's take the sounds apart here. What's coming first is the Etherlark song, which is like the field recording, the birds, right? And then you see I also used the sound healing rack. So if you click on fold, you can only see the ones that I used. The Tibetan bowl soft, which is just one hit, and then this Tibetan bowl sustained. So first it gets hit and then it sustains, so it keeps playing. So that's what I started with, right? So like the bowl right away, which is also a nice intro sound. And then also something from the shamanic comes in, the drum, the same that we used. And then also a rain stick, so it's pretty much a good opener, right? And then Arborea is coming in, and the Elder Grove portal is also coming in. They're coming in together, and at the same time the soul rings, right? And then you can see pretty soon they're already like fading out again. More effect sounds coming here. This was the frog percussion. Right. And then I was using the transition sound here with the flute, with the fey coming in as a moment to transition. So you can see the soul rings were already gone because they are quite tingly and jangly, and at some point it can be a bit too much. So I faded them out. And also the Etherlark song is fading out and other nature sounds are coming in, right? And now you understand why I needed to duplicate those channels, right? Because I want to blend them in. I want to have the elder growth portals still be going a little bit while the Arcturian wardens are coming in, and they are both mid-drones, right? And since I only had one mid-drone channel before, I needed to duplicate it. And you just right-click and duplicate. And also for mixing, you want to make sure that each new sound has its own channel because they are all slightly different. Even if they're all mid-drones, they have a different frequency spectrum, and you want to make sure that you are able to control it like kind of individually. That's why each individual channel is really helpful. So basically, that's why I duplicated them. And you can see there's also the mana well coming in, and then another low drone coming in, mother. And you know, the Arcturian wardens are the ditch, and I just put it slightly in the background. Mother being like very vast and cosmic. And again, they're blending really well together. Astral projection here, super nice, light and angelic atmosphere. It's a nice contrast, you know, to the ditch and the the vastness of Mother. I like to work with contrast and polarity, so that's why we have the like very grounding, rootsy, almost like dark elements contrasted or like complemented, let's say, with the higher frequencies and the light for holistic experience. Holistic in the sense that we have the whole frequency spectrum, which is always good for the mix and then for the fullness and the depth of the experience, but also in terms of polarity, dark and light. Right, and now the ritual of light is coming in. Very similar to the astral projection, right? And if you have both of them together, you can hear they go really well together. They're almost very similar. We have the gods of divinity and the wildlife menagerie, which I really like. And now Mother is gone and we have the Radiance as the low drone, right? And this also has a ditch in and of itself. That's why the Arcturian wardens don't need to be there anymore, because the ditch in here is kind of taking over. So I didn't want to have like two ditch at the same time. And here you can tell that I was using some sounds actually of the Radiance together. Like, so this is all the Radiance, the Gardens of Divinity, the Ritual of Light, and the Celestial Paladins, and the Radiance itself. So now this gets a bit more consistent. And again, it was all like super intuitive. And I was just seeing and playing which sounds I like, you know, just like looping a section. And then just going back into session view and seeing what works. So for example, let's say we turn this all off. I just click on it, press 0, right? So now the clips are deactivated. So this would loop. And then while this plays an arrangement, I could just go in here and see, aha, what works. Try the dawn portal. Right? Also really nice. I could also say, alright, let's make it a bit louder. let's take the dawn portal, right? Copy it, paste it right here, right? And then let's say, okay, so what works with that? Maybe something higher. So let's try maybe Soul's Ascendance from Kimitara. Okay. Yeah, that works. It's more fluty, but I want something more like, yeah, something like this. Something that contrasts it. Right, so I could then say, okay, I take the elemental deities and put it here. And I always make sure that there's nothing overlapping. But actually, you see, like, this one is here already, coming in later. It's the same thing. But it would have to have its own channel again, because this one sounds slightly different from this one, right? So I would even like duplicate it again, just duplicate. And then you need to make sure when you duplicate it that you take out what is already there, right? So because now they are double here, you need to take this out, and now I take this one out here, right? And then I had it all on its own individual channel, and then I can later mix it individually. But this was just an example, so I bring it back the way it was. I turn these guys on again. The down portal was not here, and yeah. So that's basically the idea, right? I think you understand now what I mean. Playing with sounds, trying, listening, looping, and then you make your choices. And I intended this to be like kind of like a 12-minute journey. So let's see how we go towards the end here. So it has kind of like a peak moment around here. Right, and then towards the end it gets very quiet again and soothing, like with the owls. You can see I was layering a lot of atmospheric sounds towards the end. Clairvoyance, Trials of Wisdom, and the transmission. The Riddles of Destiny, Temples of Reverence, and the Parallel as the Lodron. And then the Dreamweavers come in towards the end, very gentle. And then everything is just fading out. Right, towards the end. Everything just fading out, the volumes. And that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that's a very quick and easy way to come up with something that you like. And I hope you find this inspiring to create your own journey through jamming first in the session view and then arranging it or recording it. In the next video, I will show you how to perform live with the template. So I will actually do some live looping and play some of the clips And then I will also in another tutorial show you how to create a sound journey from scratch. So we actually gonna do something like with a blank canvas, and then I walk you through the whole process, and we also go deeper into automation and effects and how to get more out of the effect racks here as well. This is all pretty basic use at the moment, so we will get deeper into working with these guys as well, like with the effect rack and all those things. And yeah, also there will be a YouTube live coming up with me and Fluorescent, where we talk about behind the scenes and the creation process of the shamanic portals. So that's also going to be really cool. And yeah, I will announce it soon, but it's probably going to happen next week, I guess. But again, I will keep you posted on that. And thanks for watching, and have fun creating magic with sound. See you in the next video. Bye bye.